I Once again, I invite you all to this online alumni meet. I take this opportunity to invite Dr. Jaimin Vasa, President of Gujarat Chemical Association, President Gujarat Pharmaceutical Association, and former President of Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He passed out with a PhD in management in the year 2016. I also invite Dr. Madhis Parikh. He is a student of BE Computer Branch, passed out from LD College of Engineering in 2015, and he is an awardee of National Youth Award by Government of India. He will be speaking to us on role of young people in envisioning technical education for sustainable applications. I also invite Ms. Hemadri Pandya. She was a student of again BE Computer Branch and 2017 passed out from GEC Bhavnagar, and she'll be talking with us on how technical students can contribute to digital India and especially how women can play a significant role in it. I also invite Mr. Yash Shah. He passed out with BE Computer degree in 2014 from Universal College of Engineering and Technology. He is the founder of eSwasthya and he'll be talking on the online business in Atmanirbhar Bharat and SMEs. Special invitation also goes to our former Dean, Dr. K.N. Seth, who was the person who initiated the formation of Alumni Association way back in 2012. Please, I invite you also, sir, for this today's function. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Amongst us today, we have our former Vice Chancellor of GTU, Dr. Akshay Agrawal, sir, who have significantly contributed in carving the directions and vision for GTU to deliver excellence in education and innovation. I would request Dr. Akshay Agrawal, sir, to share his blessings on this today's occasion. Over to you, sir. Dr. Akshay Agrawal, sir.
Yes. So, are you able to get me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Friends, I'm thankful to Dr. Naveen Sheth, Dr. Pankaj Ray Patel, and Dr. Khair for inviting me to the alumni meet. It's a great pleasure to connect with Dr. Vadodariya, Dr. Rajul Kajjar, and other friends, Dr. K.N. Sheth, I don't know whether he is there, uh, again. And it is also a pleasure to see our distinguished alumni, Dr. Jamin Vasa, who needs no introduction, Madhish, he did great work with GTU in NSS when I was there, Hemandri, and Yash Shah, a young entrepreneur closely associated with GTU's startup program. The alumni are closely associated with the good universities working. Each of them is an ambassador of the university with the outside world. When I was in India before coming to Canada, I had heard about donations of millions of dollars by Tatas, Mahindras, and other industries of India to Harvard. But after coming to Canada, I had a personal experience in my fourth year at the Canadian University. I'll just take a minute to describe before I end. I had received an invitation for myself and wife for a pre-convocation dinner meeting. One day prior, the secretary to the president, over here, the vice chancellor is called the president. I'll just take 1 minute. To the president called me and told me that the president wanted me to attend the dinner meeting with my wife. When I reached the place, I found it to be a grand program, and I was ushered to a table at which were sitting the mayor, the CEO of Chrysler, that is the biggest industry in this area, and the local MP and MPP. MPP means MLA. As the program started, the president announced that I had been selected for the prestigious Alumni Award. He said that no professor had ever got it within 4 years of his joining the university. I was invited to say a few words. I got a standing ovation, and the program was covered by the local TV and newspapers. What I want to say is that alumni awards are considered to be the highest honor for a university professor. And the alumni who have passed at least 3 years earlier jointly select the awardee through the association. And the award is conferred at the university's convocation. At GTU, the Alumni Association was started with 3 initial objectives. Number one, to recognize the great work done by our alumni through awards. Two, GTU, like all universities, works for greater interaction with industries and businesses. We hope our alumni will prove to be a great vehicle for helping intensify this interaction. And thirdly, to help our alumni through offer of lifelong learning programs. I noticed that GTU has already achieved the milestone of 10,950 members in the association. I convey my best wishes to GTU Alumni Association. And lastly, I thank Hitesh Gujarati for arranging the connection. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your blissful and insightful words and joining with us today. Thank you so much, sir. I would request now Dr. K.N. Sheth, sir, a former Dean and Alumni Affairs of GTU, to say a few words and grace the occasion. Over to you, sir. Thank you. Dr. K.N. Sheth, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Very warm good evening. Hello, very warm good evening. Esteemed Dr. Naveen Seth, sir, President of GTU Alumni Association, Dr. Pankaj Rai Patel, Vice President of GTU Alumni Association, Dr. Khair, Member Secretary, GTU Alumni Association, Dr. Akshay Agrawal, former Vice Chancellor of Gujarat Technological University, a great visionary, my guru, invited speakers, my colleagues, dear alumni of GTU, students, friends, ladies and gentlemen. See, at the outset, let me tell you that you all deserve the deep respect that you organized alumni meet during the pandemic. You have my admiration for organizing the annual Alumni Meet 2020. You really stayed true to your goals and your values. I must tell you that this is a reflection of your tenacious character. Congratulations to all. Well, I feel I am honored to be a part of this Alumni Meet 2020. It reminds me of my exciting journey, which I began in the year 2012 as a Dean Advancement, Alumni Affairs and Interdisciplinary Research. In the year 2013, under the constant guidance and inspiration of Dr. Akshay Agrawal, a brilliant, very brilliant, and a great visionary former Vice Chancellor of Gujarat Technological University, with the support of academic leaders like Dr. G.P. Vadodaria, Madam, and the other academic leaders, we established the GTU Alumni Association, and 8th February is the foundation day of the Alumni Association. To tell you, I am the first alumni of GTU Alumni Association, and slowly and gradually other faculty members joined, and then the students were motivated to join. The constitution of the association was drafted by me, but was not registered. Newsletters were also designed and published to create the general awareness among the students about the Alumni Association. See, in the beginning, it was found to be difficult to explain the term alumni to the graduating students and imbibe a sense of belongingness to his or her alma mater and the role of GTU Alumni Association in connecting to the real society. We made efforts to make GTU students industry ready by organizing several seminars to enhance their employability. The objective of stimulating the critical thinking and raising the high standard of education among the GTU students was achieved to some extent. But today, I am delighted to see that GTU Alumni Association is now registered under the Societies Act. So it has received the legal status. This is amazing achievement. Congratulations to all. The association is now registered with almost 12,000 alumni today. That's what I came to know. My dream is now slowly coming to the reality. The hard work and the determination to work selflessly is not so easy. I appreciate the hard work of all the faculty members, university officials, and our students, alumni in accomplishing a wonderful achievement. GTU Alumni Association has now become mature, I would say like that. My mantra message to my dear alumni is be bold, be driven, and show this world with your constant efforts and determination what it means to be GTU alumni. I wish that our GTU Alumni Association crosses more and more laurels of excellence. Let God shower blessings on GTU Alumni Association forever. To conclude, let me express my feelings of gratitude to GTU and GTU Alumni Association for imparting me an opportunity to address you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all. Thank you.
So we are not able to hear you. Can you unmute? Can you?
Is it, we are audible? Or are we audible? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me take this opportunity to introduce Madish. Madish is an active youth leader and is associated with many social change making organizations. At present, he is associated with NSS Advisory Board at GTU, member at World Youth Alliance, Truecaller brand ambassador, Microsoft student partner, co-founder at Invincible NGO, president at Elixir Foundation, and global shaper at World Economic Forum. In recognition to his social work, he has been honored with many awards by the government as well as national organizations. For his outstanding community welfare services, he was honored with IG Award by Honorable President of India at Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi. He is also a recipient of National Youth Award by Government of India, which also makes for the highest tier award of the nation in the youth category. He has represented India at many international events such as Women Higher Education for Disarmament and Peace, Vienna Forum, which was held in Vienna, Austria, Shape Asia Pacific 2017 by Global Shapers, Cebu, World Economic Forum at Philippines in 2017. Madish nomination on Women Transforming India was awarded by Government of India and appreciated by mygovernment.in, Niti Aayog and United Nations in India. So let's hear from Madish. Over to you, Madish.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. Before I start, I would like to describe the Gujarat Technological University in a one line what I relate to. I walked in with a dream and I walked out with a future. So this is how, beautifully I would like to describe the Gujarat Technological University. And I really appreciate the university and all the stakeholders for organizing this Alumni Web Meet 2020 in this pandemic. So I would describe how a university is like, first of all. So university is like a tree, and we the students are the hanging fruits on these trees. And the university, the tree works all the best, to nurture these fruits which are hanging on the trees. And when the fruits are ripe, the community or the society enjoys these fruits. And now comes the role of alumni. We are those seeds, once the fruit is eaten away, we are those seeds, which continue the legacy of the university and keep spreading the positive energy of the university in the community and what learnings we have learned from the university. So thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity for having me in the annual Alumni Web Meet 2020. I would sincerely thank Professor Dr. Naveen Sheth, Honorable Vice Chancellor for Gujarat Technological University, and also he is the President of GTU Alumni Association. Dr. Jaimin Vasa, MD Vasa Pharmachem Private Limited, dear friend Yash Shah from eSwasthya.in, dear friend Himadri Pandya, who is also the recipient of Linux Foundation Scholarship, Mr. Pankaj Rai Patel, Dr. Akshay Agrawal, sir, former Vice Chancellor of GTU, and thank you very much, sir, for remembering me, since you are a Vice Chancellor. Dr. GP Vadodaria, sir, who has been my principal at LD College of Engineering, Dr. Rajul Gajjar, madam, the principal, who was then the principal at VGC and now is the principal at LDC. Dr. Hitesh Gujarati, sir, also for the excellent coordination, all faculties, staff members, students, and the alumni of Gujarat Technological University. So as you see, young people play a very important role, and as I'm going to talk about the role of young people in envisioning technical education for sustainable applications and grassroots innovations and impacts to build Atmanirbhar Bharat. So in this challenging time when everyone is concerned about education, our university and all affiliated colleges are doing best with imparting technical education. We are a nation with majority of young population, and the entire world looks at young people with 21st century skills, especially in this COVID-19 time. So whatever skills the world was having right now seems to be outdated. We are having certain limitations in COVID-19 time, right? We are not able to do most of the things physically. So right now we are taking the help of digital platforms, that is more importantly a technology, and we as a university facilitate all these technologies with the help of students and faculties and the team. Mostly we have now a digital in everything, may it be education, banking, information, anything and everything. Here the young people are very pro and tech savvy in adapting newer technologies, which means better learning and implementation. As a university, we have diversity in courses and content, which enables the students to learn and adapt with the skills needed in the market. Our Prime Minister has also advocated and put stress on Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. So now what does Atmanirbhar Bharat means? Atmanirbhar means to be self-dependent and most importantly being vocal for local. How we can promote our local products, how we can promote local innovations and local solutions to local challenges. This will also help the small scale businesses and MSMEs to grow and contribute to the global economy and upliftment of the society as a whole. So this university has also taught me more than engineering. It has taught me more how to be a socially responsible person. And I'm very thankful to the university and my college for making me what I am today. So I'm more into social domain right now, but from the technical education, what I had from the university, I carried on to be a mentor with Niti Aayog, and then I started to work with young students studying in school as a mentor of Niti Aayog. And we started building an innovation around smart mobility with the help of technology. Now, no wonder innovation became so popular that it was invited by the Indian High Commission in Singapore to be presented there, and none other than the Indian Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi innovation, and it became the top 14 innovations of the country. So this is the power of innovation, and we importantly need to bring innovation to the grassroots right from the school time. And young people are not just the future, but they are also the present. We have to focus more on building promising and innovative solutions to the local challenges and let the world replicate it. And then we can proudly say this is a Make in India product. This is what Atmanirbhar Bharat in real sense is. Indian enterprises, especially the rural ones, have great talents and unmatchable potentials, creating not just products, but also wrapping culture around it. I would give an example of a masterpiece of engineering that is from Patan city of Gujarat, that is Patola. That is a masterpiece of engineering. China is popularly known for duplicating any product, right? They build machines, you name it, and they make it. They tried to build a machine that could make Patola by a machine, but it failed. So this shows, it is also very important to promote rural innovation. Making a Patola is an engineering and rural innovation. So how we as the students of a technical university can get into this rural development, rural handicrafts, and also promote our culture at the same time. So I'll also give another example. When I was a student at LD, uh, I remember having a visit with one of our professor and our principal, Dr. GP Vadodaria sir, at one of the village near Dholka. So we saw that the village had a lot of local problems, right? But no enterprise was keen on solving those problems because it was a local problem, right? So we went there, we understood that they were not able to get the benefits of the government schemes because they did not have a DPR plan of the village. That is a detailed project report. Now I came from a computer background. Now we got in touch with the students of civil engineering branch of our institute, and then we had a detailed visit during our NSS camp. And during this 7-day camping period, the students of civil engineering created a DPR project, that is a detailed plan project of the entire village, which led the village to have access to the schemes of the government, right? So this is a wonderful example how we can enable the local people to be Atmanirbhar, right? So there are enough said examples of this university, and I hope that, as I said, I walked in with a dream at this university and I walked out with a future. So this is how I totally relate to this university. And one important message to all the young people out there and all the students: successes and failures are just events in your life. What you do in between these two is more important. Remember one thing. So be confident and lead the world. Arise, awake, and stop not till your goal is reached. Thank you, everyone. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madesh, for your insightful information sharing. And do stay connected with us. Moving further, our today's next speaker is Ms. Himadri Pandya. Himadri Pandya is one of the recipients of Linux Foundation Scholarship. She is fascinated with operating systems and open source enthusiast. She is an advocate for women in technology. She has organized and she has also promoted the opportunities which would help women to grow their technical skills. She also organized first ever girls workshop in Gandhinagar where 80 women were introduced to web programming. So without wasting time, let's hear Himadri. Over to you, Himadri.
Thank you so much for this introduction. Good evening. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who is watching this live event and who has spared some time out of their busy schedules to tune into this discussion on how students of technical courses can help in building Atmanirbhar Bharat. I would also like to thank the organizers of this annual Alumni Meet and the GTU authorities for inviting me to become a part of this discussion. I am honored to have this opportunity to interact with you all. I like to believe that the students of technical courses are the technocrats of our time. We like to keep ourselves updated with technologies from all around the world. New smartphones, latest software updates, cool applications, latest hardware like new processors and GPUs, popular games, and state-of-the-art algorithms. We are curious about it all. We know how to use technology to make our day-to-day lives easy. From our mobile recharge, paying our bills, and managing our Netflix subscription, from navigating our way through city using online maps, finding jobs on career websites, and learning new skills online. We can do it all quite efficiently with help of technology. It makes me believe that our students are already Atmanirbhar. But our Bharat, our nation, it is not just our students, right? And in order to make Bharat Atmanirbhar, we must make each and every citizen Atmanirbhar. Our youth, their parents, grandparents, and their children make the entire nation. And while our youth has already learned how to use technology, it is equally important that we make sure that the other generations are not left behind. Our generation was born in the era of digitalization, but that's not the case for our older generations. Thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic, now people of all age, children and elder alike, are needed to adapt the new digital world. And I believe that this is the perfect time that we, the young technologists of our nation, come forward and help them in this transformation. But how a student can really help? Let me give a few practical examples. We all know that having an online presence helps a business in growing. And India has numerous small scale businesses which are not yet part of the digital world. If all of them are brought online, it is ultimately good for our economy. I believe that our technical courses have our technical students of our technical courses have a great opportunity to be helpful here. For example, if you are a CS or IT engineering student and your college has taught you how to create a website, how to register a domain name, and how to host your website, and if you help at least one small scale business by utilizing your technical skill to make a website for them, think about how many students we have enrolled in GTU for the degree of computer and IT engineering. If each of them help just one small local business, imagine the kind of impact we can create. We, as the students of technical courses, should grab every opportunity to advocate for fruitful use of technology. We can do this by initiating meaningful conversations about using technology that can make our life easier. Let me give another example. Suppose you visit the local Kirana store to buy some groceries, and you observe that this Kirana store is not accepting payments digitally. Now, this is an opportunity for you to advocate for the UPI technology, which has been so successful in India and which is so efficient in taking digital payments. You can explain this to the shop owner and convince him or her that this is good for their business, and in the time of corona, how it can help in avoiding unnecessary contact to currencies. You can also mention that you are an engineering student, you know how these things work, and moreover, you can also help your time to set up this thing for that Kirana store. This is how you can be helpful. We all are fortunate courses, right? But not many people living around us are that much fortunate. So our students can step forward and help others in using technology. Nowadays, everyone owns a smartphone, but very few are still aware about what wonderful things can be achieved and learned using that particular phone. Let it be an uncle living next door, let it be your grandparent, your parent, or somebody who helps your family in doing your household work. Observe all these people around you. Think how technology can help them be creative and come up with innovative ideas to build some product or applications that can solve the problems they are facing in their day-to-day life. During this process, you will learn a lot. You will actually end up helping a community or at least a human being. And this project would also look good on your resume. The last thing that I want to mention is that women have a crucial role to play in making Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is important that women contribute equally in all fields, especially in technology. If they don't, everyone is losing the potential they have, which could have been utilized but isn't. As women, we can see the problems that others can't. So it is our responsibility to be a part of the solution as well. If you are a student of technical courses and you are also a woman, it is your responsibility to make sure that every woman around you is empowered through technology. Because many women still don't know there exists an entire world outside their house and their household responsibilities. Go to schools, talk to girls, encourage them to pursue technical education. Tell them about what interesting things you get to learn at your college, what amazing things you build as your projects. Talk to women in your families, in your neighborhood. Tell them about how they can learn new skills online. Introduce them to online learning communities and platforms. Try to make academic projects that solve real world problems. Acquire and excel at technical skills. Innovate and create. because with every skilled technical student, India is getting one step closer to being truly Atmanirbhar. With this, I would like to conclude. Let us all do our part to make the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, Himadri. Thank you for your wonderful address, specifically citing women and technology, their relationship, and working in that particular area, which is need of the hour. Thank you so much. We are proud to have you as our alumni. Stay connected with us. Thank you so much. Moving further, our next speaker is Mr. Yash. Yash is an innovator and he's associated with startup eSwastha. At present, he is chairman and MD of eSwastha and also CEO and sales and business development consultant to Greyline Infotech. At present, he is member of National Innovation Foundation and also board member with CII, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. He is also president of Young Indian Clubs of India. He is associated with Shanti Business School as chief advisor, and also he is visiting faculty with many of the reputed institutions such as IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, Somlalit, Nirma, to name a few. I would request Yash to address this gathering. Over to you, Yash.
Hello. Very good evening to all. Uh, First of all, thanks a lot to GTU Alumni Association for inviting me for this meet. I would like to say, and I would like to continue something what Madhi said, that he entered into college and come up with a future. I would like to say GTU took me to my dreams and they show me that how I need to fulfill it. So my journey started long back in 2012 with respected former Vice Chancellor Raksha Agrawal sir and one another person, Hiranmaya Mahanta, who showed me the way to come in S4, and it's still running with blessings of Dr. Naveen Sheth sir. In between, I made so many authorities and respected people like Apurva Rawal sir, who has helped me a lot for this startup. When I started in 2014, eSwastha was first health and wellness e-commerce of India, and I got huge support. And like I was sitting in ACPC building, which was the first in 126 room number LD College, which I remember that from that day my world of entrepreneurship started, and I evolved a lot with blessings of sir, whole GTU staff. Amit Patel sir is there, who is here, and we started our journey. Right now, as eSwasthya, we are India's fifth number company in health and wellness e-commerce, with grace of all of you, and serving in a medical field where we are giving 360-degree services of health at doorstep. Taking things forward about online business, which is connected to SMEs, and how we can grow that business in this pandemic, or apart from the pandemic, how people should connect to the online business. So, as mentioned, as to advocate and teach people for how you can connect to online businesses, there is a few people who are connected as an advisor. Right now, the SMEs or MSMEs don't have online advisor. How they can connect to Amazon, how they can list their products to Flipkart, and so other destinations where they can promote their self, they can increase their business, and they can go for a long term. So basically, I feel that the students who are there in GTU are from different places, so we can promote two very basic things, which is right now running very good, is local for vocal, right? Vocal for local. And if you say that, like, the people who are coming from the Navsari or Bhavnagar or XYZ village or district, if they will even start educating their SMEs surrounded to their residents or surrounded in their district or cities, they can make a huge difference. in SME sector for now. Like if we just go through the statistics, we are having 6.33 crore as MSMEs with us. Part of those 99.4%, so 6.30 crore SMEs are micro SMEs who don't have access to this digitalization. Like 6.30 crore, which is a recent numbers from 23rd March only, and given by the our central government. So basically now those SMEs are don't having any link with our digital market. They don't have any link to present their product to the market, and they don't have knowledge that where they can increase and where they can sustain their business. Right now, so many SMEs are like dying because of not having presence in digitalization. As a technical university, I don't know, but each student of GTU can be an online consultant to these SMEs. They can be an online advisor to these SMEs who can create a huge value. They can build their application, as those people are having vast experience in building application websites. They are very good in embedded engineering, so embedded system. So what we as a student of GTU can do in online is, if you take Amazon, what Amazon is doing, they are combining the local people and SMEs and MSMEs who can register themselves to Amazon, and they are giving them customers. It's just about bridging those SMEs and MSMEs to this kind of platform. As we know, the people who are living in villages, they don't know, they are not that much literate. They are doing business, and their business is limited to their self. They are not expanded, and they have not explored the market where they can put their products in a demand, and that's why they die. Till they don't have demand in the market where they can sell their product and they can generate the revenue, the same thing will directly affect the employment. Why we don't have employment? Because if 6.33 crore SMEs gives employment to 100 people, it goes 633 crore people who are getting employment, and that is not even the case because our population is 150 crore. So in and all, if our SMEs are getting into online business, that's gonna be a very big transformation, and this transformation can be done with the GTU students because they have capability to explain. I think as we are also having MBA courses, BBA courses, if we connect the technical people with the marketing people, that combo is the best combo to take this SMEs and MSMEs in a look, and they can directly connect to the market. They can directly connect to their users and the people who are their consumers. So I feel as a GTU student, you should be open for each and every opportunity you are getting. Even if you are at your home, you are at your college, if you are doing your masters, you are doing your bachelors, if you are studying, like when I have started, I was like, inspired by sir, and I started my journey of this innovation from first semester itself. Dr. GP Vadodaria, who was registered at that time, like those are the people who have supported me like anything. I failed 3 times. So first semester I presented, I was not selected. Second semester I presented, I was not selected. At the end of the day, fourth semester was something where I got selected for this S4, and then my journey started as a eSwaste. To all the students, what I just wanted to say, and I would like to suggest, is that whenever you are working on your projects, which is a last year project and design thinking, try to find a problem, because all those things are just given for that only, that you find the problem, you get into the entrepreneurship, and you solve something which is a local for the industry and local for the people who can build their own business and build their own startups by that. Concluding this with by giving only one thing, that you, like whenever you are starting your journey as an entrepreneur, as any field which you want to pursue, it's not about what your marks are, because I got even KT, the very famous thing in GTU is KT and block. So it doesn't matter, you just go on, you will get your destination for sure. And the one thing which there is a comparison between student, but APJ Abdul Kalam sir, who is always our idol and inspiration, all of us do not have equal talent, but all of us have equal opportunity to develop our talents. So equal opportunity is something that you don't need to be in IIM to start entrepreneurship and business. You can do it in GTU, you can do it from any college of GTU. So start doing it from today, from now, because to fulfill your dream, you need to pursue your dream, right? So you pursue your dream and you will get the success. Thank you so much to all of you. Thanks for taking time. Thank you.
Thank you, Yash, for sharing wonderful address to all the students. Definitely, they would learn from your entrepreneurial journey, and you have definitely motivated them. We would also look forward to associate what we do at our GTU and what is need of the corporate. Definitely, we'll try to bridge the gap by providing the best platform as we can, although it is already existing, but we will try to do it in the best manner further as well. Further moving, as far as today's event is concerned, our next guest is Dr. Jaimin Vasa, sir. Sir, as such, does not need any introduction. He is currently President of Gujarat Chemical Association and also President of Gujarat Pharmaceutical Association, and has also acted as President in past of GCCI. He would be addressing today's gathering on role of MSMEs in Indian economy and government policies to promote student startups. I would hand over to Dr. Jaimin Vasa, sir, to address this gathering. Sir, please, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Respected Dr. Naveen Sheth, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor and President of GTU Alumni, Dr. Pankaj Patel, Vice President GTU-A, and my guru, my pranam to Dr. Akshay Agrawal ji, my guide for PhD, and the then Vice Chancellor, who has shaped me, motivated me, and molded me to become a PhD. Dr. K.N. Sheth, former Dean Alumni Affairs, Deans of GTU, professors, faculties of GTU, Dr. Vadodaria, Dr. Rajul Gajjar, Mr. Yash, founder of Iswasthya, Mr. Madish Parikh, awardee of National Youth Award by Government of India, Himadri Pandya, she is Linux Foundation Scholarship recipient, my fellow alumni, and last but not least, my dear friend and event coordinator, Hitesh Gujarati, dear students and participants. Thanks for inviting me for today's alumni meet as a speaker to speak on the subject role of MSME in Indian economy and government policies and support to promote student startup. Please note that it is a mere coincidence that I did my PhD from GTU in 2016 in the MSME only, and my research topic was a comparative study of SME contribution in India and China, a study of selected sector, and my sectors were chemical, pharma, and textile in India and China. And today I am having my manufacturing units in chemical and pharmaceutical. And this is how I became the alumni of this organization. And I am proud to say that I was the first PhD holder for the management in GTU. Thanks to GTU. Sir, I mean, today I'm talking about the MSME, which is my favorite subject. Of course, I've been given very limited time and given the two subjects. And I'm sorry to hit this if I overshoot by a minute or so. The role of micro, small, and medium enterprise around the world for driving economic growth and development at a regional, national, and global levels cannot be overemphasized. As India gears up to replace the high growth path, the MSME sector assumes a pivotal role in driving the growth engine. The MSME sector in India continues to demonstrate a remarkable resilience in the face of trying global and domestic economic circumstances. And this sector has sustained an annual growth rate of on an average 10% for the past many years. With its agility and dynamism, the sector has shown an admirable and remarkable role for this innovativeness and adaptability to survive economic shocks. Even the very gravest nature, The significance of MSME is attributed to their caliber of employment generation. It's the second largest employment generation in India after agriculture. Low capital and technology requirement, promotion of industrial development in rural areas, and use of traditional and inherited skill and use of local sources, also mobilization of resources and exportability of products. And according to the estimates of the Ministry of MSME, which recently Yash has also corrected my figures, which I had actually, that 100 million jobs through over 60 million units situated throughout the geographical expanse of the country, with 38% contribution to the nation's GDP and 40 and 45% share of overall exports and manufacturing respectively. It is easy to comprehend the salience of the role they play in social and economic restructuring of India. Besides the wide range of services provided by this sector is engaged in the manufacturing of over 6,000 products ranging from traditional to high-tech items. And there are numerous opportunities for this sector, but they are facing many challenges which need to be addressed to make the best use of these opportunities. The globalization of businesses has increasingly drawn SME into the global value chain through different types of cross-border activities. Many entrepreneurs are recognizing this opportunity that this advent ushers, and gaining access to the global markets has become a strategic instrument for their further development. And these opportunities have arisen as a result of the government's increased focus on the MSME sector. Larger investment in research and development, technological upgradation, thrust towards the international collaborations, and measures to boost the competitiveness and propel growth. MSME accessibility of the ministry from the remote location of these operations. Now, the MSME in India is an important driving factor for the growth of Indian economy. And these MSMEs helps in reducing the unbalanced income distribution among the people through the way of providing the employment opportunities and industrialization in these particular remote areas. The MSMEs contribute significantly in the development of Indian economy through export production, domestic production, low investment requirements, operational flexibility, technology-oriented enterprise, etc. The SMEs are complementary to large industries operating in the economy and contribute enormously into the socio-economic development of this country. And the Ministry of MSME of Government of India has the responsibility of designing policies, projects, and schemes for the development of and promotion of these MSMEs. The successful implementation of these schemes is also assured by the monitoring responsibility of Ministry of MSMEs. The primary responsibility of the promotion and development of these MSMEs is of the state government, but the central government also assists the state government through number of initiatives. The schemes and various initiatives of Ministry of MSME and other organization through seeks to provide the various facilities, adequate flow of credit from financial institution, banks is very important for MSMEs, and support for technology upgradation and modernization, integrated infrastructure facilities, modern testing facilities, and quality certification. Access to modern management practices and entrepreneurship development and skill upgradation through appropriate training facilities. So support to product development, design intervention, and packaging. These are all important factors for MSMEs. Welfare of artisans and workers, assistance for better access to domestic and export markets, and cluster-wise measures for better access to promote capacity building and empowerment of the units and their collectives. Friends, these MSME activities, if those are so many activities which a single MSE unit is doing today, and the various commissions, institutions, organizations, and apps has been set up by the concerned ministry to promote and develop the various industries and at micro, small and medium level. During the COVID time, looking to the difficulties, Government of India and Government of Gujarat announces various stimulus packages for the survival and sustainability for the further growth of MSMEs. All must be knowing that MSME has four major issues. One is finance, second is infrastructure, third is technologies, and fourth is marketing. To meet with these challenges, Government of Gujarat announces various stimulus packages to support MSME to meet with these challenges. Recently, Government of India has revised the definition of MSME with the criteria of investment in plant and machinery, which was earlier, and they have already correlated with the annual turnover. Even Prime Minister's vision for MSMEs for Atmanirbhar Bharat or a self-reliant India movement, there are 5 pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat for MSME: economy, infrastructure system, vibrant demography and demand, and special economic and comprehensive package of rupees 20 lakhs crores equivalent to 10% of Indian GDP has been announced. Package to cater various sections including cottage industry, MSMEs, laborers, middle class industries, and among others. And bold reforms across the sectors will drive this country's push forwards as a self-reliance, that is Atmanirbhar. It is time to become vocal for our local products and make them global. More local products we make it, we can reduce our import, and we can increase our foreign balances. It is time to become a vocal for our local products and make them global. And government has announced many packages and measures to support MSMEs, which is already available in the government website. My second subject is student startup ecosystem in Gujarat. You all, friends, are technical students and doing the professional courses, and I would wish you all become the successful startup entrepreneur and make the best use of Government of India and Government of Gujarat scheme for Atmanirbhar Bharat. All the details available in the website, and request everybody to go at student startup and be the job givers rather than job seekers. Just to highlight few schemes for student startup at Gujarat is one is sector specific policy intervention by Government of Gujarat, that is Gujarat Startup Innovation Scheme 2015, Gujarat Electronics and ITEs Startup Policy 2016, Student Startup and Innovation Policy 2017, globally recognized mentors for student startups. Already we have TAI Ahmedabad, Gesia IT Association, NIF, ECHI, Gujarat Chamber of Commerce, Gushpreneurs and Head Start Network, and who are globally recognized. And these startups can get funding also from well-developed network like GVFL, Gujarat Angel Investor Network, Ahmedabad Angel Investors, Infuse Ventures, Incube Ventures. An important thing as we have well-established incubators and accelerators like CIIE, IIM Ahmedabad, iCreate, NID Incubator, and that is NDBI, MICA Incubator, Venture Studio, IIT Gandhinagar Incubator, DAIICT Incubator, IIC PDPU, and they have nurtured many startups to grow. Assistance offered by the Gujarat Startup Innovation Scheme is assistance at the development stage are assistance of rupees 5 lakhs to nodal institution for mentoring services to the startups annually, rupees 10,000 per month to innovator as substance allowance for 1 year, assistance up to rupees 10 lakhs for product development, free access to university, libraries, government laboratories, center of excellence, and mentorship assistance by the nodal institution. And any student startups can also get assistance when idea gets commercialized, like marketing, publicity assistance up to rupees 10 lakhs for introduction of innovative product. Venture capital fund will be provided through Gujarat Venture Finance Limited. SGST reimbursement is available. Reimbursement up to 1/5 of eligible limit in a particular year, and they will also get other benefits as per MSME schemes. So for ease of doing business for startup, Government of Gujarat is also supporting measures like no inspection required for student startup for the first 5 years. Labor Laws Act 2015 and includes self-certification and submission of consolidated annual returns, and the Contract Labor and the Interstate Migrant Workmen Act 1979. They have also very free services for the environment, that is self-certification for fast-track consent renewal and self-certification for green category of industries for annual exemption from routine inspection by the board. I think anything's problem?
No, sir. You are audible. Please continue.
I'm audible. Sorry. So a list of white category industry has been introduced over and above the list of industries declared by the central government. So all the required support information for startups available in the single portal. I tell you, each and every students that focus on startups, identify your product requirement and develop your project right from the beginning. Take the support from the institute, and there are a lot of mentors are available, and government has identified the following incubators to nurture ideas like our own institute GTU, GUSEC, IIM Ahmedabad, Ganpat University, National Institute of Design, IIT Gandhinagar, and there are a lot of funding support for student startup. That is, GVFL can fund up to 250 crore from the promoting the startup ecosystem, creation of student innovation fund of rupees 200 crore, corpus of rupees 100 crore created for GOG supported incubator I create, budget for rupees 97 crore allotted in 2016-17 for startup promotion and development activities, and Gujarat CSR authority has considered funds received from the corporates to be used to support academic incubators under CSR activity. Few of the successful Gujarat-based startups are Infibeam, eInfochips, Pegasus Semiconductors, Space Technologies, Sajanan Lizard Technologies. I recently heard that Yash, Himadri, and Madhim are all three are successful startups and the entrepreneurs. I congratulate all of them. And the various measures are taken for boosting the growth of student startup, strengthening the incubators and nodal institutions through state-of-the-art infrastructure and R&D facility, supporting the funding and investor network in Gujarat to enable better and faster access to the capital, and promoting the startups in diverse sectors such as manufacturing, aerospace and defense, electric mobility, healthcare, Internet of Things, and encouraging innovation in schools, college, and in rural areas and grassroots level. And also I request all the members, now government want to restrict the imports. There are many products which are being imported and government to give maximum support to those who really wants to manufacture this product in India, so that take the best benefit of this particular situation. As I being associated with many organizations like Gujarat Chamber, Gujarat Chemical Association, Gujarat Pharmaceutical, and it is always my desire to help the students to evaluate and motivate their ideas and make them successful startup and entrepreneur. I would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, that we should start the permanent cell in GTU. It might be having to support the student for mentoring them to become a successful startup, and also supporting them getting the suitable fund from the suitable agencies available government from the government scheme. And I announce my active participation to make these ideas successful, along with my few successful industrialist friends and also the deans of the university, and with the help of fellow alumni under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Vice Chancellor. I am ready to support whatever the way the institutes want from me. Once again, thank you for the patient hearing, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your very valuable time to address on today's event, specifically on role of MSME. G2 is having the best ecosystem when we talk about startup and boosting of startups. Definitely your insight shared today would contribute again to perform the best as possible. Thank you, sir. Moving further for today's event, After hearing from our alumni, now it's time to hear from the president of GTU Alumni Association, our very own, our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Naveen Sheth, sir. I would request Sir to address the gathering. Sir, please.
Namaskar, good afternoon. Respected our founder, Vice Chancellor, Sri Dr. Akshay Agrawal ji, Dr. K.N. Sheth, today's speaker and esteemed alumni, Sri Jaimin Vasha, Sri Madish Parikh, Himadri, Sri Yash Shah, our Registrar, Dr. K.N. Kher, Vice President and Director of the School of Management, Pankaj Rai Patel, the Coordinator of the Alumni Association, Hitesh Gujarati, other staff members, all esteemed alumni, and all members of the GTU various committees. We hope that you all are in the best of health and spirit in this COVID-19 pandemic crisis. We are confident that you must be contributing diligently in the service of the nation at this critical juncture. Your alma mater has always been committed to national service. You would be glad to know that this time also we are doing our best to meet the pandemic challenges by our young budding innovators. GTU Innovation Council is very active during the lockdown period, and our budding innovators are come with many innovative products to combat the COVID-19. I taken the note of Dr. Jaimin Vasha that we have specially budget allotted for the innovation, and it is the only university which established this innovation council in 2011, and now we functioning not only at GTU headquarters, but we are this innovation council also established at Rajkot, Surat, and Vadodara by the infrastructure facilities supported by the technical directors. Though the normal academic activities, mainly the classroom teaching and laboratory research, have suffered owing to the distance mandate, we have not allowed this constraint to hamper our pursuit of knowledge, research, innovation, and social outreach. Indeed, the pandemic has forced us to rethink the way we work and deliver. Our faculty members have successfully explored the virtual classroom and other digital aids to ensure the continuity in the teaching learning process. Majority of our students hail from the different parts of India and some from the countries across the globe. We are taking care of those who continue to reside in our hostels. The university has responded promptly to the call for national service. The faculty and staff member of the department and affiliated colleges of the university have collectively contributed to their one-day salary to the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister Relief Fund. GTU always have a many milestone during these 3 years. We have received 100 acres land at Lekawada village near Gandhinagar for establishing the new self-sustained green building with zero discharge with all modern facilities. We have also received the 12B certificate from the UGC, that is an important certificate for the eligibility of the various grants from the UGC. We have also received the 36 crore grant by the various agencies like Atal Innovation Mission, MHRD, DST, Guj Coast. You have been a constant pillar of support to the university and a great contributor to the nation building. Today, your alma mater GTU urge you to intensify your effort to serve the society in whatever the form you can from wherever you are located. I humbly request all alumni to make your bond very strong with the GTU, and whichever means our students are lacking some exposure of the current industry situation and other situation, definitely you are the best judge, you are the best supporters. Together we can enrich each others and make this motherland Bharat Atmanirbhar. We will be glad to know about your efforts in this direction and get inspired. Keep us posted about your efforts by writing to us. Now our Alumni Association is registered. Stay safe and healthy. Best wishes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for always giving us motivation, autonomy, and platform to perform at the best level that we can. We look forward to see our alumni to be the real flag bearer of GTU in upcoming time. Across the world, we want them to shine. Best of luck to all the GTU alumni who have joined today with us. And of course, we will look forward to hear from you. As Sir said, stay connected with us. I would request now Registrar of GTU and Member Secretary of GTU Alumni Association, Dr. K.N. Kher, sir, to give vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Today's event, GTU Alumni Association Annual Web Meet 2020. I convey my great thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Naveen Seth sir, who has given a very much freedom and motivation to arrange this type of program. I also convey my great thanks to Honorable ex-Vice Chancellor and first Vice Chancellor, Sri Akshay Agrawal sir, for their blessing and joined with us. I also convey my thanks to Dr. Pankaj Rai Patel, Vice President, Alumni Association, GTU. I also thank Dr. K.N. Seth, former Dean, Alumni Affairs. I also convey my great thanks to today's speaker, Dr. Jaimin Vasa sir, who has delighted about MSME sector and startup. I also thanks to young entrepreneurs, Madish Parikh, Yash Shah, Hemandri Pandya, and all Alumni Association students who are the brand ambassador of the GTU. I also special thanks to GP Vadodaria sir, Deans and former Principal, LD Engineering College. I also special thanks to Rajul Gajjar, current Principal, LD Engineering College. I also thanks to Dr. C.N. Patel, Dr. Mahesh Sabaria sir, Dr. Tutti Almora, Professor Usman Nerao, and Dr. Paresh Kotak sir. I also thanks to Director GSET, SD Pansal sir, and all the faculties who has directly and indirectly support to success of this event. I also thanks to Coordinator Hitesh Gujarati, IT teams, and MOC Sri Sweta Ben. I also thanks all the GTU family who are directly associated or indirectly associated with the GTU. Thank you all.
Thank you everyone for your continuous association and to make today's meet successful. Thank you so much. We may leave the room now. Thank you.
Kher sir, thank you very much. I'm sorry I forgot to spell your name. So my sincere apologies, sir. No, I will keep on meeting you all people quite often so that we can work together. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.